You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, our paths cross once more. Just as I hoped they would, more like. The Oak Father has been kind to me this past while. Yet I cannot forget the bond we all forged together. It is one that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day. I always do. Should I ever decline, assume a doppelganger has taken my place. That was more than worth the wait. That was more than worth the wait? Oh, I suppose you didn't mean that literally. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing. In that case, very well. Our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. In another 6 months, I would wager the scars of the past will be entirely invisible, even to those who remember them. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes, and the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony. Stronger together. It is, truly, though a more complex, evolving beast than I could ever have anticipated. I spoke often of balance before. Only now do I realize that balance is no simple, fixed thing. We welcome folk from all walks of life. Anyone who wishes for a new start. Naturally, it can be chaotic at times, but it is a thrilling sort of chaos. It thrives in ways I could never have dreamed of. You are welcome whenever you like, and for however long you please. Now, please, tell me all, and spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to hear all. It is the children, you see, my charges. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. Another story, Daddy Halsin. Another is the chorus that greets me each nightfall. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake. Ha! You would ask to be tucked in next. But whatever the intrepid adventurer needed, I would have been glad to provide. More than a few, I should think. At least I shall be equipped to explain the birds and the bees when the time comes. But I hope that time is quite a while off yet. I am all ears, though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image. You have kept yourself busy. I expected no less, in truth. I shall be able to keep the children enthralled for a few more nights yet, thanks to you. And should you wish to retell of your exploits in person, well, I shall not object to a night off. Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. I shall leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else. Quite often. They come and go as they please, but with so many playmates to avail of, they are far from strangers. They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. I can see it in the land all around me. But more importantly, I see it in their faces whenever they visit. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods, as far as I'm concerned. I spend half my days in ursine form. The children demand it. I had a score of them taking turns riding upon my back just days ago. I'm glad they are so comfortable with the Oakfather's creations. But they must learn that not all are as amiable as I am. A lesson for another time, though. They deserve some joy. As for roaming, that impulse has dwindled, I must admit. Perhaps because I have found where I am meant to be. As did I, but somehow I feel like I no longer need to roam. That I have found something worthy laying roots for. Amazing what can be discovered about oneself, even at a ripe old age. On occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Francesca of the High Forest is Archdruid now, and by all accounts, she has proven to be a steady and wise influence. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence. By all means. If only we could stay like that forever. Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keepsake, really. Do you remember how I told you I like to whittle? I made this. Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company. Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on. Enjoy the festivities. We can speak again later. We have all pined for each other's company, I sense. I cannot imagine otherwise after what we shared. That bond was forged in a crucible that can never be stoked again, Oakfather willing. It is a bond that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day. Perhaps that is so for you, but for me, it may be that a peaceful life after so many years of tumult has made me sentimental. I dwell upon what we shared. That bond was forged in a crucible that can never be stoked again, Oakfather willing. It is a bond that can weather any distance, any passage of time. Our differences are insignificant compared to our shared experiences and achievements. We are a rare breed. We should let bygones be bygones. I was just about to ask the same of you. I'll admit, I am curious to hear how you've been occupying your days. Ah, as you wish. Enjoy yourself. Rest assured, my arms shall be ready. Apologies. You can probably understand my eagerness. I shall be as gentle as a feather next time. Well, I am not normally given to imbibing, but this is a special occasion, and I believe our dear Withers procured a fine honey mead as part of the celebratory victuals. Even the most ascetic of nature's servants would be tempted by such an elixir, but that can wait. Your company is what truly drew me. True, we cannot. But we can make a future the best, even the fondest of memories. Then each reunion shall be all the sweeter. And who's to say we need to make such gatherings a rare occasion? My hearth is yours to warm yourself beside always. You are right, of course. I am accustomed to dwelling on the past, even when it brought me nothing but unhappiness. You changed that, and gave me the most precious of memories. Now the task is to make yet more of them, so that each reunion shall be all the sweeter. Please spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to hear all. It is the children, you see. My charges. I shall not push the matter if you are not comfortable. I can tell you how I have been faring, if you wish. Nor would I. You are more intoxicating than any fare this gathering has to offer. Do you truly even need to ask? Of course. Who could not open their home to a befeathered hero of Baldur's Gate? And I did promise the children I would bring them back a surprise. Imagine their faces. In a manner of speaking, yes. Though it is a more complex, evolving beast than I could ever have anticipated. True balance is no simple, fixed thing. I see that now. As am I. I may age more slowly than most, but I do believe I've gained some new laughter lines of late. Of course. Disagreements, friction, opposing cultures, and our fair share of petty nonsense that I shall not bore you with. It is to be expected wherever people gather to make a life for themselves. And, in truth, I think I am better able to help them navigate it than I ever was as Archdruid of the Grove. I am wiser, perhaps, but I am certainly happier. Hardships are rare and diminished when you are where you truly want to be. You are welcome whenever you like, and for however long you please. My greatest purpose and greatest reward. Those children have been through more than fate had any right to cast at them, and yet they go on as resilient as anything in nature. I impart what knowledge I can to them, yet, in truth, they teach me far more. The land we saved is theirs, and they will cherish it, I'm sure. Thaniel and Oliver shall never want for friends again. Korga was beyond saving. But the others have a true mentor now, and I am very glad for them. Oh, I am well aware, trust me. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on, enjoy the festivities. No, it's wooden. I suppose it burns if you find yourself in dire need of kindling, but I hope it does not come to that. Well, that is your choice to make, of course. Though I hope the sentimental value may win out over the temptation of a few coppers. I was eager to attend tonight, yet I cannot help but fear that it may be a mistake. Do you know what I speak of? All these months, and I haven't been away from what we built together. There's a whole community out in Thaniel's realm that has never known a day without our presence. Being away from it, I cannot help but worry how they will fare in our absence. I hope so. The children shall miss their bedtime tale tonight, though perhaps I can glean a few new stories from our friends here to make up for it. Tell me, are you happy with the path we tread together? I took you from a life of high adventure to one that can be described as, well, anything but. I thought perhaps that seeing everyone once again and hearing of all that they've been doing, it might awaken some regret about the life we lead. You could have done anything, gone with anyone, yet you chose me. I am glad to hear it. Forgive an old fool in need of a little reassurance. I am still expecting to stir from the dream. You must be eager to speak to some of the others. I shall be fine. Do not allow me to keep you. Be sure to take your own advice. This is a special night for all of us. Of course. Seeing them free and happy may be my proudest achievement. And now they have more playmates than they could ever wish for. By all means. I could get used to this. I live to serve. The day I weary of those lips is the day I weary of life. You cannot bear to be apart from me, I see. Oh no, perish the thought. I can barely imagine stooping to such barefaced pun-mongering. The children's sense of humor is rubbing off on me, perhaps. It is not for me to boast. It was a shared effort to reclaim the stones of Moonrise and Drythwin and build something new. I am just lucky to be a part of it. Myself included. We have all shared in this bounty. But I take your point and shall acknowledge my role. In brief. Well, these arms aren't just for show. And it was an easy task to throw myself into. After so much destruction, I relished building something. Perhaps I shall have to take the form of a mouse and hide myself away. I appreciate the nudging all the same. We serve as a good pair, you and I. You are right, of course. What we have made shall outgrow us both, and, Oakfather willing, stand as our legacy. Of course, I have just become unaccustomed to free time, perhaps. I feel like I'm neglecting something. You are right. Perhaps I'm simply out of practice. Oh, to have your confidence. You must think me like a mother hen. I just hope the children get by without me there for their bedtime stories. Then I shall take courage from your example. Forgive me. This past while has been so idyllic that I almost fear something must go wrong. A fear I shall overcome. Trust me. We're amongst friends, in celebration. You jest, but I caught the scent of some honeymead as we arrived. Even I may be tempted to indulge a little. It is a special occasion after all. Just haul me away should you find me bare-chested and singing the songs of my ancestors. I thought I would, but in truth, no. Roaming has lost its luster now that I have somewhere I truly belong. Perhaps my true nature was waiting to reveal itself with your aid. I just hope you share in my contentment. Your embrace makes me feel safer than any armor could. You are more intoxicating than any fare this gathering has to offer. But now our paths cross once more. Do not apologize for following your true course. You did what was necessary to help those who needed it. Our love was always unbound, free to flow where greater forces would dictate. And still, you have found yourself here before me once again, if only for a night. So do as you must, and see where the path takes you. My door and heart will both remain open to you. Always. I am glad you have kept yourself occupied. No doubt I'll be able to spin a few yarns for the children from this. Thank you. You are truly incapable of disappointing. The children shall be wrapped, and have no fear. All due credit shall be given to the tale's originator. Do I detect a certain exaggeration? You could give Master Gedam a run for his gold. Though I suppose he has little need for it now. Oakfather bless him. In any case, my audience will favor a good tale over veracity any day. I thank you for your offering. Yet not by me. I shall tell the children of your heroism and sacrifice. They shall know what they owe to you. Trust me. Karlak is truly lucky to have you by her side. The hells will never daunt the pair of you, I'll wager. Most enthralling. Though perhaps it may lead to some sleepless nights for the younger ones. I can make something palatable with a little showmanship and creative license. Thank you. Lae'zel is truly blessed to have you by her side. Just keep each other safe, please. I am glad you and Karlak have an enduring friendship. It shall serve as a strong lesson for the children, as well as a stirring tale. Karlak is truly lucky to have you by her side. The hells will never daunt the pair of you, I'll wager. Thank you. The children shall be agog. I do believe some of them use the number of beastly fangs and claws present in a tale as the yardstick for its quality, which puts yours right at the top of the heap. Perhaps I can substitute the bloodlust and, well, general lust for cuddles and animals in the retelling. The children may be confused, but no matter. They will soon be asleep. Even with a few white lies, rest assured that they shall be engrossed. Thank you. You are stalwart, even in service of darkness. There will be a lesson there for me to impart to the children, with a few details glossed over, perhaps. Thank you. Sanguine joys, no doubt. Perhaps I shall smoothen out those details. The children do not need to know the full truth of your diet, but they shall be wrapped all the same. Thank you. Well, luckily for you, mortals have the habit of embellishing their run-ins with gods. I am sure I can muster something to captivate the children from what I can glean of you. Yes, I thought I caught the scent of a wolf upon the wind. The children shall love this. But be warned, they may insist upon a visit. But the glory can be found in the telling. The children love tales of underdogs, facing odds most unlikely. They shall appreciate your story. Trust me. Perhaps a tale for the older children, once I trim off a few of the less savory details. But thank you, all the same. And with an appetite for the grey ambrosia that dwells within every skull, I presume. Perhaps I shall remind the children of your heroism and self-sacrifice, and skip over the brain-eating until they're older. I see. Well, I trust your sources, of course. Perhaps the historical record can survive an embellishment or two, for the sake of the children. In any case, you have my gratitude. A noble calling. Your tale shall inspire a whole generation. Thank you. Oakfather preserve you. I hope you have a tight hold on the beast. But this shall make for a most stirring tale for the children. I may even have to tone down the details for fear they get too excited. Why, Master Dekarios, I had no idea you would continue to stoke the fires of adventure. I commend you, as shall the children, once they hear of your exploits. Thank you. The classic tale of the blade, but with a twist. This shall go down very well with the children, I sense. Thank you. Truly? I never would have guessed that is what happened. And to think I believed I had the measure of you. But I am glad to be wrong. The children shall be captivated. I think some of the more bloodthirsty children will relish this. Thank you. Many of the children have already heard of you, as it were. Do you know some of them scarcely even believe this old bear could be acquainted with such a hero? But the authentic sense that your recollections bring to the tale shall win them over, no doubt. Thank you. Countless tales have begun with a roaming adventurer. I am sure I shall keep the children enthralled for years to come with your exploits. Thank you. I see. Perhaps the children can learn something from your ambition in the face of adversity. Thank you. The makings of the multi-night epic. The children shall rush to their bunks in order to hear the next chapter. Thank you. The shadows were concealing a true adventurous heart then. Thank you. The children shall be rapt. A classic tale. I expect it shall inspire more than a few of the children to start practicing their riposte with wooden sticks. Fancy a oink? Indeed, you'll be hard-pressed to find a joke I haven't. Oh, Tusk, a boar back in the grove. I had promised to help him find a mate before we embarked on our quest, but with all that transpired, I forgot. Come morning, I shall write a letter of inquiry as to his condition. A promise is a promise. Tusk shall have his mate.